Sell your used phone in 60 seconds on Dofy and get instant cash to upgrade.
Tum Saath Ho, when we started, it was almost rejected. And then it became a cult song now. You know, even in a peak energy, suddenly when you drop the song, people become quiet. Because music, we don't even know who's listening to what.
What's your POV over the remixes and remakes? Like, do you feel कि अच्छा है?
Shortcut to creativity. When people get insecure, they use that card, I think. But if they invest in time in composition and lyrics, people will be much more happier, because people want something. I can see all the chats, I can see all the comments. They want something original, they want something beautiful, they're craving for it. The lyric which can become timeless, like if you take a Kun Faya Kun, or if you take Maa Tujhe Salam, you take Tum Saath Ho, there is a concept behind it. It's not blindly a hit song. Because I'm not under pressure. I don't need to impress myself or anybody. Music is not about impressing. It's about heart. It's about soul. No sneak peek,
Okay.
But I think as I told you, I am the first audience, and I'm looking at myself from the audience constantly. Why should I look at my concert? Why should I come to my concert? Why should I? And that is the answer which I get. Because.
Any song that got rejected initially but did wonder later?
There are many songs. I don't want to tell them. Even Vidakaro was actually made for Maidan.
Okay.
The tune, not the lyric. And the Mukda was made for Maidan. And then Zinda rahe साया सरों पे तेरा जिंदा रहे.
हेलो, हाय, आदाब, नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल. आप देखना शुरू कर चुके हैं गलाटा इंडिया और मेरा नाम है अविनाश पाल. आज मेरे साथ एक लिविंग लेजेंड मौजूद हैं. एक ऐसी शख्सियत जिनके म्यूजिक को सुनते हुए हम बड़े हुए हैं. आने वाली जनरेशन भी इनके म्यूजिक को एंजॉय इतना ही कर रही है जितना हम लोग करते थे. जब हम लोग सोचते हैं कि इससे अच्छा गाना, इससे अच्छा म्यूजिक नहीं बनता है, ये हमें हर बार गलत साबित कर देते हैं. पैन इंडिया इनके लिए बहुत छोटा वर्ड है, बहुत छोटा शब्द है, क्योंकि वर्ल्ड वाइड इनके काम को पसंद किया जाता है. मेरे साथ मौजूद है द वेरी अमेजिंग AR रहमान.
जी
सर, स्वागत है आपका.
थैंक यू.
मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ, आपके सामने बैठा हूँ, इससे अच्छा कुछ हो नहीं सकता है. आई विल स्टार्ट विद द वंडरमेंट टूर. इसके नाम के पीछे की क्या वजह है? इट्स वेरी यूनिक.
I think we need to be grateful for every blessing on us. The blessing of being alive, blessing of love, blessing of relationships. So I said this is a wonder which we fail to recognize. So that's why it's called Wonderment Tour.
Nice. As I mentioned before during chit chat कि आपको छावा के म्यूजिक लॉन्च इवेंट पे देखा था and it was mesmerizing. As an artist, क्या मुश्किल होता है म्यूजिक कंपोज करना, गाना गाना या टूर? इसका पूरा प्रिपरेशन, इसके पीछे का पूरा साइंस, इसके पीछे की पूरी मेहनत, सबसे ज़्यादा मुश्किल और चैलेंजिंग क्या होता है?
So when you start as a musician, you just want to play a tune, or you just want to compose, you want to play. That's enough satisfaction. Then you receive love from people. Then because India is evolving continuously. At the time when India in 90s, I felt like I was watching Michael Jackson. I said, why can't we do some concerts like this? Why can't we do like, all these people were doing stuff? And it's slowly changing, like, how can I do it? I'm not a dancer, I'm not a this thing. But I could make it like an extravaganza. I could make it exciting so that if I sit and watch it, I'll be engaged, not bored. Because people come for an experience.
True.
They don't want just somebody putting a note and singing. That they can listen to radio or a CD. So that changed my this thing. So when you change like that, then you become passionate about how do I do that now? I don't know how to do that. Get the right people. Then there was a gentleman called Deepak Gatani who said, I can do that for you. And then, we worked together then with dancers and choreographers. And then you see that stuff. And then, because at those days, composers never had an individual, entity. They always had to tag in with a dance, like an actor, and do club, concerts like that. And I wanted to change that. I said, why can't a composer have, if it's an Rahman concert, I don't want to club anything there, because then I have got so much to give, that will take away my time. So then, many singers help me, like, Sonu, Sukhwinder, SPBG, Udit Narayan, Shankar Mahadevan. Each concert would have so many singers that people would come and enjoy this. This is a golden time of, my concert. So I was just, it was so mesmerizing to have all these people. And then that broke the whole thing. Oh, AR's concert will be only singers and only music. So that evolved into, now we come to the Wonderment thing. I'm still figuring out what to do. But we have a great plan.
As much like I have read and jitni baatcheet ho rahi hai, there will be some international collaborations also. So if you can just like give us a little sneak peek about it.
No sneak peek, no.
Okay.
But I think as I told you, I am the first audience. Okay. And I'm looking at myself from the audience constantly. Why should I look at my concert? Why should I come to my concert? Why should I? And that is the answer which I get, because.
One thing I also noticed that's very rare, जितने अभी तक हम लोग कंसर्ट्स देखते हैं, चाहे वो इंडियन हो चाहे वो बाहर के हो, उसमें एक चीज जो बहुत खटकती है वो है टिकट प्राइस. बट जब मैं इसके टिकट प्राइसेस चेक कर रहा था, टचवुड इट्स वेरी इकोनॉमिक. एज अ नॉर्मल पर्सन आई कैन गो, बट बहुत बार ऐसा नहीं होता है. बट इसके पीछे लाइक व्हाट वाज द थॉट प्रोसेस, हाउ यू कन्विंस द टीम, what was,
I think
like,
the more the numbers, the prices can come down. When you have more numbers and a bigger place in infrastructure, I think the prices come down.
Like as I said, हम आपके गाने सुनते हुए बड़े हुए हैं, आज भी वो पसंद आते हैं, बहुत सारे आपने गाने दिए हैं. इफ आई आस्क यू, आपके लिए सबसे ज्यादा मेमोरेबल सॉन्ग कौन सा रहा, और कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि कोई गाना आपने किसी को प्रेजेंट किया हो, वो उसको उस वक्त ना अच्छा लगा हो, बट बाद में दैट सॉन्ग लाइक बिकेम आइकॉनिक?
There are many songs like that. Like Tum Saath Ho, when we started, it was almost rejected. And then it became a cult song now. Even in a peak energy, suddenly when you drop the song, people become quiet. And they listen to it. They all have the lights and all this. So many songs have that kind of quality. Sometimes, Roja Janaman. Sometimes, what recently... Because music, we don't even know who is listening to what. Initially, we know cassettes are selling this much, CDs are. So, through the internet, people are listening to things which you don't even expect they're listening to. Sometimes you're surprised.
What's your process of making music? Like how you make it? You are with your team, or you just sit alone, raat mein, din mein, dopeher mein? Like how it works for you?
It's difficult to pinpoint what to do. Sometimes I feel like, actually I look at the pattern of the music which excites you, the sound palette which excites you, the lyric which excites you, the lyric which can become timeless. Like if you take a Kun Faya Kun, or if you take Ma Tujhe Salam, if you take Tum Saath Ho, there is a concept behind it. It's not blindly a hit song. There's a concept behind it, the concept behind how it's going to change people's lives or my life. And it always starts with us, our team. If we like it, we think that everybody would, invest in it. And that's how. So I start with the raga sometimes. I start with the piano sometimes. I start with the rhythm sometimes. Sometimes I just hum on the voice note and then change that.
हर गाने की एक जर्नी होती है, और बहुत बार ये भी डिपेंड करता है कि सामने वाले को आपसे क्या चाहिए. हाउ दैट डिमांड और रिक्वेस्ट हैज चेंज्ड विद द टाइम, कि पहले एक दशक 2 दशक पहले क्या रिक्वायरमेंट था, अभी लोग कैसे चेंज हो रहे हैं, हाउ म्यूजिक इज इवॉल्विंग और चेंजिंग.
I think people who come to me, I'm lucky that, the first movie itself was a big thing and showed, okay, this guy can do something different. So even now, when they come to me, they expect me to surprise them with something. Because they don't ask me, like, can you do a song like that? Okay. Even though, something like that they ask, but then they expect me to come up with something which is completely different. But when you give different, they're not able to accept it. And they take some time, 2 weeks, to say, actually, that is very good, sir. I played it to my driver. I played it to my thing. He liked it. So it is a process. Not that everybody has the power to recognize something good. But as a maker, I should be convinced that I'm giving something which is good and it will grow on them. That's why sometimes they say, oh, music takes time.
True.
But then if you don't change anything, it will be the same thing. People get bored. Every composer need to have a kind of personality. Is important. You go to the garden, you just don't want to see only roses, right?
True.
You want to see jasmine, you want to see this one, you want to lilies.
We need a bouquet of everything.
Exactly. That's what is beautiful about artists. Even everybody should have a personality.
And what's
Like
your,
Ajay Atul, they have a personality. I love
True.
their work. And Shankar Mahadevan, Sankara Sarlal, they have it. Amit Tirupati has one. And so I expect to have my own sound. I expect to come.
what's your POV over the remixes and remakes? Like, do you feel कि अच्छा है?
Shortcut to creativity. When people get insecure, they use that card, I think. But if they invest in time in the composition and lyrics, people will be much more happier, because people want something. I can see all the chats. I can see all the comments. They want something original. They want something beautiful. They're craving for it.
As an audience, अभी तक हम लोगों ने जितने कंसर्ट्स एंड टूर देखे हैं, हमें वंडरमेंट में क्या अलग मिलने वाला है? Like no offense, nothing. We know it's A.R. Rahman, the A.R. Rahman's concert, but as an audience, we always want more.
Yeah, I think every song has the Wonderment lens in it. Most of the songs have that. I tell my team, like, imagine if you put this song, if you take even Jai Ho, you put the Wonderment lens on it, how will it sound? So that's how we're treating this one. And whatever comes out of that, each one has their own version of Wonderment. And we're still evolving into what the concert is going to be.
Have you ever like been nervous before making any song or like anything like that कि आपको कुछ दिया गया हो theme या pattern or you were like so confused or you took so much time?
I'm always confused. I'm kidding. No, I don't think I'm sitting and I'm delivering what I become like non-existent. I feel like I should not exist. There's no ego existing, no talent is existing. If you become vacuum, become zero, and you pray to God and say, what comes in? It may be some in good times, it comes, great stuff comes in. Sometimes nothing, you're tired and then you're sleepy and then you go. So either or happens. So the moment you don't have anything, up your sleeve, you surrender, right? When you surrender and then something fresh comes in, because I'm not under pressure. I don't need to impress myself or anybody. Music is not about impressing. It's about heart. It's about soul.
Okay, I do have some rapid fire questions for you. First one is, what's the first song you ever composed?
The first song I composed for a devotional album in my studio, Panchatan recording. It was called Deen Se Malai, and one of the songs.
Okay. Any song that got rejected initially but did wonder later? Like you mentioned one already, but apart from that.
There are many songs. I don't want to tell them. Even Vidakaro was actually made for Maidan.
Okay.
The tune, not the lyric. And the Mukda was made for Maidan. And then the director, Amit, he said, it's too slow for my second half. I want something which will be rising. I said, okay, no problem. And then when Imtiaz ji told about the script, I said, this is a very Punjabi kind of tune. What do you think? He said, I'll use it for a love song. And then we made Vidakaro, and then he threw the love song, made another song. So sometimes, like Julian Campbell, one of the artists, he told me once he wanted to work with me. He said, I want to use some of the stuff you've already done. I said, no, I'm a composer, I can do fresh things. No, you don't understand. These two, the Western world doesn't know. These are brilliant works of yours. I want to use this. Sometimes, you said that sometimes you have to resell your work to a different audience because they don't get it.
True.
It is not meant for this audience. You need to put it for a different audience. You should never waste your work. So that lesson I learned from him. He said something which is not favorable to one person because his movie is different.
Correct.
Doesn't mean that the work is bad. It needs to be, because everything comes with inspiration, hard work, and a lot of thought process, right?
Okay. If you could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, who would it be?
Recently, I was jamming with Stevie Wonder around 4 or 5 years. And he's one of the artists I look up to. And I love him. I spent around 4 or 5 hours in the studio. In fact, I called all my friends. I called Shruti Hassan and who else? Rajakumari. All of them came in and I was spending time with them in the studio.
Wow. How many instruments do you can play?
I can play very few instruments. Piano, harmonium a little bit. And of course keyboard. And now I'm learning string instruments.
Okay.
Like kora and gambush and all this.
Okay. What's your all-time favorite instrument to work with?
The piano. harmony both.
Do you have a favorite genre of music to compose for?
I love. I'm beginning to love classical or ghazal and all those things, because I feel like there's a void in those kind of tunes now, and because people are wanting to make very Western inspired tunes and other things, and I feel like that magic coming back would be really good, because that's one of our traditions.
Who's your favorite singer?
Oh my God. Nusrat Sir.
How do you find inspiration for your compositions?
It's the story, or it's a vision for the song.
What's the best piece of advice you have ever received about music?
Best piece of advice?
Advice.
There are multiple advices. That's not one. I think initial days, I think when I worked with Mr. Bapu, and his note to me was like, use Indian ragas, and I think I still follow because it has such treasure, such a big treasure out in it.
Do you ever experience creative blocks, and how do you overcome them?
Creative blocks come in when there's a deadline. I overcome sometimes by fasting.
Okay. And as a fan, it's a humble request if you can please sing just one line, any song.
जिंदा रहे साया सरों पे तेरा, जिंदा रहे योदापन तेरा.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for the time and everything, for the music that you have given us. Thank you so much, and all the very best for the
ABBA song. Thank you for the music.
Sell your used phone in 60 seconds on Dofy and get instant cash to upgrade.